Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to Garm Sports. If you're a new member, please like and subscribe. If you're an old member, like, I don't know if you're subscribed, but subscribe. My name is Roni. This is my boy Alec. Be on camera too. We're trying something different with our cameras, but usually we talk about baseball, but today we're going to talk about
A little bit of everything.
We'll talk a little bit of everything, but we're going to talk about basketball today.
Yeah.
More specifically, the NBA playoffs. Alec's going to take charge of this one.
Well, first off, happy birthday, Mamba.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. So we're going to start. First, how do you feel about the bubble? We never really got to talk about that. How do you feel about the NBA bubble, the way they're doing it?
Honestly,
No.
well, if you think about it, you compare it to like baseball bubble. Wait, baseball has no bubble. Baseball has no bubble.
What?
Hockey and basketball are doing a great and the right job in order to keep their players safe and technically their money safe.
Yeah.
Because
No sports, no money. Simple.
Exactly. And honestly, I would have been fine if baseball came back with just a baseball tournament.
No season at all? Just a tournament?
Just a tournament.
Just to crown a champion for that
Just
year?
to crown a champion that year.
Why? Because there's so many people with factors that go into it?
There's so many people. That makes it more exciting.
Coaches,
And medical staff,
front office.
yeah, and plus, anything can go wrong.
Crew, I actually just thought about it, like ground crew.
Ground crew,
And it's not like the NBA bubble, which it doesn't even matter if it's NBA bubble or not. It's not like the NBA where you're playing inside. Ground crew is necessary because it's raining. You're playing outside in any element.
exactly.
So football, you don't see working either.
It depends. It depends because what? One game a week.
Yeah.
The most they're gonna get that
Well,
is the practice.
you got Thursday games and Sunday games, Sunday, Thursday, and Monday to keep the normal schedule.
Yeah, but still, it's one game a week per
team. Yes.
So
But it is also a lot of players.
it's a lot of contact, a lot more contact than any other sport. Like, it's gonna be a big challenge for them.
So how confident do you feel that they get through the season? Baseball and basketball, or do you want to do them separately?
Baseball, 50-50.
Okay.
Basketball and hockey, 80%. 80 to 90.
Well,
There's because I don't know, the 10% is for like
Scott,
the unknown
yeah.
variables. Unknown variables. Football leaning towards 70 to 60 because it's more contact and
But
plus all the players that are already opted out. I mean,
football is pretty much doing it the same as baseball. Some football teams are actually talking about having crowds. So I can't give baseball.
their stadium is big enough to hold crowds.
Yeah, but
Most basketball stadiums.
I don't see football having a better success the way it's currently structured now than baseball would. Because they're doing it pretty much the same. They both require a lot of players, a lot
Yeah.
of medical staff, a lot of team, doctors, trainers, offensive coaches, defensive coaches. Now, yeah, they're gonna make you narrow it down, but you still need a little bit of all.
Yeah. Well, baseball did it also with expanding the rosters and stuff like that. But let's get back on topic. We're talking about basketball, NBA playoffs. We just finished watching
Celtics game.
a little bit of a sweep.
Yeah.
Alec Mills got to
Yeah.
Tatum on his back.
Had to.
The old green and white.
Had to. Black and green today, but
Black
yeah.
and green, yeah. They won. And honestly, how do you feel like their Celtics chances like overall?
I wasn't too impressed by this. I think we really did need a sweep just because Ben Simmons wasn't playing. If Ben Simmons was playing, it's a whole nother game. I still had the Celtics in 5 or 6. But we went against a team that was really just Joel Embiid. Like, Tobias Harris wasn't consistent enough. He didn't step up. He didn't step up as the number 2 right now because he's not their number 3 anymore. He's their number 2. Ben Simmons is down. We need Embiid to step up, which Embiid did. Embiid held his own. I like the fact that he said he's going to stop taking as many threes and he's going to go more to the paint. That's key.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really a playoff series for me. It was more like, here's a team who's hurt. We got to actually like finish the kill and then go with momentum. So I'm glad it was in 4. I am happy about that. I would have took 5, but anything like 6 games against this Philly team, that would have been
that would have spelled trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it's a sweep, but like it doesn't get any easier. You got the Raptors who are up also 3-0, who played pretty dang well against us.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people we got to match up with there. Milwaukee leading 2-1, but Toronto scared me more than Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm. Wait, really?
Yeah, Toronto scared me more than Milwaukee.
What's up?
Milwaukee, we all know if you neutralize this freak, and by neutralize I mean 25-12.
That's neutralizing?
I mean, yeah, the man can easily put up 40 and 20.
Holy shit.
But I feel like we can neutralize him where he's not like the guy, he's not the factor that puts him over. If it's a 25 and 12, which is still hella impressive.
Yeah.
But with his skills, his build, his capability, he's an easy walking 40-20. We can do that and then eliminate one of their people, like make sure Brook Lopez doesn't go off, or eliminate a Chris Middleton. But if we can hold Giannis to a reasonable amount and then completely eliminate one of their plays, I feel like we have a good chance.
Yeah.
Toronto, it comes from everywhere. It comes from the bench, it comes from the starters.
So they're like an overall like
They're overall team.
well-rounded team.
Yeah, and I would say they're better off than us because I like our guard positions. I like Jalen. I like Tatum for us. But when it comes to our big man, I mean, Tice has been doing nice. Cantor's been stepping up. But over there, they got Marcus Gasol, Ibaka, Siakam. I don't know who's going to be guarding these guys. And I feel like that's where we're going to have trouble. And as the series go on, I think their big men try to take over.
Toronto had Kawhi last year, right?
Yeah.
Wow. And like, even without him, they...
I was the same thing. I thought they would drop in the... I thought they would be a 6-7 seed, rebuilding a little bit. Marcus Gasol had a tough year last year, but Marcus Gasol, he used this lockout. I said lockout. This lockdown to his advantage. He came back. He looks half the man he was in a good way. He doesn't
really.
Way more mobile, way more active. Starting to remind me a little bit of the Memphis Marcus Gasol days. Not in his prime, but Memphis Marcus Gasol.
Yeah. So, granted, you guys remember I know little to nothing about basketball, but I'm here just to entertain.
So I'll read off the series and then you can tell me who you got. So Boston just swept. They were up 3-0. We just watched them sweep. The Boston's to the next round. But next we have the Raptors and Nets. Raptors are leading the series 3-0.
Against New York.
Brooklyn Nets.
Well, still New York.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Fuck New York.
Yeah. So Raptors.
Raptors, yeah.
So
no reason but that.
What about Clippers Dallas, who are currently playing right now? Clippers lead the series 2-1.
They have
Clippers are the favorite. Paul George, Kawhi.
Yeah.
They have a whole offense team.
I couldn't tell you, man. I wouldn't know. I want to say Clippers just to follow, but I'm gonna go with what I know. I have to go with Clippers because
that's fair.
They're up 2-0.
2-1.
2-1.
That's fine. They're the favorites too, and they have 2 of the top 5 two-way players. So that's fair. I'm actually gonna go with Dallas Mavericks.
Really? What gives you that idea? What gives you the thought of an underdog taking down? What's to say a team that was built for this exact reason? If
Porzingis didn't get ejected, they were leading that game by 5 at the moment. They had the momentum. I believe it was game 1. They were leading game 1 by 5. They had the momentum. Porzingis got 2 bad calls. He got a tech for throwing his fist. He blocked the ball, in my opinion.
Yeah. But
apparently there's a little contact in the arm. But he just fist bumped pretty much towards the ref, which it isn't a rule you can't do. But it's a playoff game. Like, he got a tech. Okay, kind of. Then they were trying to mess with his brother, like Luka, who's either 1A or 1B, because some people say Porzingis starts and say Luka, but regardless, it doesn't seem like they care. But they were trying to mess with him. Mark Morris was trying to get in his grill and stuff, and Porzingis simply came over and tried getting his man out of the situation. I'm not going to let you get in my man's face. They gave him another text, so he got ejected. So it was like either call could have like I don't think either one should have been a tech personally, but like it could have gone either way, both calls.
Exactly.
which led to him being ejected, and they were up by 5. They had no rim protector, they had no offense, because that's also their second best scorer in my opinion. So they lost defense and offense. They lost game 1. Game 2, they came back and they had Porzingis and they won. Game 3, Clippers battled for the most part, and I'd give game 3 to them, so that's why they're leading the series 2-1, but it could easily 2-1 Dallas. I think it should be 2-1 Dallas. And then on top of that, you have Paul George who's struggling. And Paul George is a phenomenal player, and I truly think in one game's notice, he can flip the switch and come back to being a player we all know him for, but he's struggling. And I think you just let them, I think the Clippers left them in the series too long. Like, I know it's only 3 games in, this is game 4, but like, Dallas really thinks they can hang with the Clippers now.
Yeah.
Like, they really allow them to think we can hang with them, and they're playing better. And
so you think Dallas has the confidence more than the Clippers?
I think Dallas knows it should be 2-1.
Okay.
And then nobody can guard Luka. And you have the best defensive player in most people's eyes, Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
And he's still doing work. Then you have Paul George, another top 5 again, 2-way players, and he's still doing work. It doesn't matter who they throw on him. Morris has been the most physical, and Morris seems to have the best success, but it's still not enough. So I would have to go. I'm going to go with Dallas. I think they even it up 2-2 today, and I think I might go Dallas in 7.
It's Dallas in 7?
I think so.
All right.
Then we have Denver versus Jazz. Jazz lead the series 2-1.
Denver versus Jazz. 2 teams I know nothing about.
So I'll start, and I'll let you do some research if you want.
I'm not going to do research. I'm going to go with my gut.
What's your gut tell you?
My gut tells me. My gut is talking right now. Go on, go. Let's see what you got.
Okay, so I am going to go off the fact that Utah leads the series. They lead the series 2-1.
Yeah.
And hold on, let me look something up real quick because shout out to the sponsor for the food, by the way.
Yes, as you see here, you guys, we're eating. We're growing boys, even though we're both in our mid-20s.
So I'm gonna go with Utah Jazz.
Utah Jazz.
This is I finally pulled it up on you.
Yeah.
Utah Jazz is leading the series 2-1, right? Denver won game 1 in overtime, 125 to 135, right?
Mm-hmm.
10 points winning. But in that game, Donovan Mitchell went off, and he was the only player going off. Donovan Mitchell went off for 57 in that game. The game they lost.
Yeah.
By 10. And the next best help he had was Joe Ingles, 19 points. And then you got Jordan Clarkson, 8. But there was nobody else there to help him. Nobody else gave him the help he needed with the 57-point game to close it out.
With Denver.
Mm-hmm. So you give my thing is if Donovan Mitchell got a little more help in that game to go with his 57, it's a 3-0 easy.
Yeah.
And the game was back and forth the whole time. Let me look. 4th quarter, Utah Jazz got outscored by 5 points in the 4th quarter to go to overtime. And then in overtime, they got outscored 10-20. And that's why the final score is a 10-point game. And it looks so bad. But in reality, Utah got outscored in the 4th quarter 32-35, 37 to go to overtime. And then in overtime, they got outscored 2-1 pretty much.
Yeah. All right. So percentage-wise, let's say, are you 100% sure Utah's going to win?
I wouldn't say 100, but I would put my money on them. So yeah, we can say 100. I'd put my money on Utah.
Okay.
I think it should be 3-0 right now. I think the way they're playing, Donovan Mitchell, even in a loss, going off of 57, just needed a little more help. I think I like that.
All right. How many games?
I think it's 2-1 right now. Let's say Denver gets one more. Game 4. I say 6 games. I think in the next 3 games, Utah takes 2 out of 3, and I think they win in 6.
All right.
Then we have the Bucks and the Magic.
Ooh.
This is an easy one for me. The Bucks lost game 1, and everybody was talking. Then the Lakers ended up losing game 1 against Portland, and everybody was talking. And now both number 1 seeds lead 2-1.
Yeah.
So this is easy. Giannis is not going to go out like this. Giannis is going to try to get to the finals, if not win the chip. I don't see Giannis being taken out by the Orlando Magic, especially with the injuries the Orlando Magic have, inconsistency. I don't see a team like the Magic beating them. I see a team like Toronto beating them, a team like the Celtics could beat Milwaukee, but that's all I really can see. I couldn't see the Nets, even though they're down 3-0 winning.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to see 76ers, even if they were still in the playoffs, advancing. I can't see them beating Giannis.
Even just looking at the last game against Orlando, they won by double digits.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's enough said right there. I remember when they lost their first game. I was even saying like, wow, are they losing? But I'm also thinking like, everybody has this one game and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I would agree. Yeah.
It's, to me, being a Boston fan, it's the way we used to see the Red Sox play the Devil Rays, where it's like, it's a team you don't expect to be good, you don't expect to give you a fight, and that's when you spark it in them, and they're gonna give you like a little run for your money, but like Devil Rays, not Tampa Bay Rays. Tampa Bay Rays I respect. Tampa Bay Rays probably been more consistent than Red Sox have been. But Devil Rays, when we used to see them, and it's like, oh, it's an easy kind of win.
Yeah.
I think
You're talking like the Crawford, Tony Martinez.
Yeah, I think that's how we saw it, where it's just like Milwaukee started, it's Orlando Magic, you don't really have to try, we don't have to give it all, and they regret it.
Yeah.
And since they've been playing, and I think they've been playing really well, I think Giannis is starting to warm up. I don't think he's fully heated yet, but he's starting to warm up, and I think there's going to be some trouble.
Damn. All right, so that's the Bucks in 5.
Yeah.
Bucks in 5. All right.
What's the thought? Do you see them go to Game 6? I can't.
No.
Vujovic had a great game. I think it was 35-13 if I'm not mistaken in Game 1 to help him with the win.
Yeah.
I see Vujovic throwing another one of those games up, but I don't see somebody else helping him to get another win. I think it's in 5, Milwaukee.
I mean, granted, like, you take everything I say about basketball with a grain of salt. But
you know about basketball a little bit. You gotta give yourself some credit.
Yeah, I know the fundamentals.
So next we got the Rockets and OKC. Rockets lead the series 2-1.
Wait, really?
Yeah. OKC pull out a win. I'm gonna have to go.
Hold out. So you're telling me you're going for Houston?
Yeah. I don't think SGA and Chris Paul is enough. I don't think they have enough scoring on their team.
Yeah.
So like, Steve Adams does what he does. I like Steve Adams. I think he does what he does at a very high level. Gallinari's a big guy who can shoot it for them, who can go off. But then when it comes to those guard positions, I don't think you have enough scoring, especially off the bench, which for me doesn't allow your starters to get as much rest as they should and have as much confidence in the rest of the guys.
Yeah.
So I do think Rockets win, and I think it's 5 or 6. I don't really see
6. Okay. Huh.
And that's surprising, seeing as though Russell Westbrook's out for the Rockets, and it would be a great time to do a surprise and eliminate the Houston Rockets, but they just don't have enough. They don't.
OKC doesn't have enough to do it.
OKC doesn't have enough punch in there. It's not enough. SGA is either on or off, and I think Chris Paul needs to get back to trying to score a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to facilitate too much and set everybody else up.
Yeah.
And I think people aren't respecting his shot as much as they used to, and I think he needs to put that fear back in them. I think he needs to drive more, I think he needs to pull up when he's more open, and then when people fear that you can just take it to the basket or shoot, they're not looking for the pass as much, and then that's when you get your teammates going. And I think as a leader, and it's his first year on that team, but I think as a leader and a veteran as he is, I think he needs to put that in everybody's mind. I think he needs to be more aggressive and put the team on his back.
So even for OKC to have a chance, he has to step it up.
Oh, for OKC to win the series, Chris Paul has to be their best player.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Yeah.
They won't win if Chris Paul's not the best player. So until he takes, like I said, a more aggressive side, a more aggressive stance, I don't see them winning. I think he's trying to.
Wait, Chris Paul was in Houston.
Yeah.
Is it possible he's not okay, it could go in two different ways.
Mm-hmm.
He could get, because they won last game they faced with each other.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking, it could go two ways. He gets down on himself, which I don't think Chris Paul will do. Or he uses this momentum that he got. I'm thinking it's not a set deal that Houston's gonna win. There's a slim chance OKC can come back.
How?
Like you said, Chris Paul.
Oh, if Chris Paul becomes the best player, second best player on the court behind James Harden,
Yeah.
but best player for the OKC Thunder, there's a chance they win.
Yeah.
It's 2-1, and it's not like it's 3-1, and they're not out of it. But Chris Paul is trying to facilitate too much. Chris Paul is trying to put the ball in people who don't have that experience
Yeah.
and time in the league. He's trying to put the ball in their hand, and that doesn't make sense to me. He needs to go out, be more aggressive, drive the basket, get the contact, get to the free throw line, knock down some easy shots, then start pulling up. Then people are going to start playing him more aggressively. That's when you give it off to Steve Adams. That's when you find Gallinari. That's when you have these bench players, these players who don't have as much experience. That's when they find themselves in a position with the ball wide open because Chris Paul drove to the basket and he drew two defenders.
Yeah.
And now he's open. And now you're giving that young guy an open shot versus a contested shot. I mean, to make this, we're down by 10. Nobody else is shooting the ball. And another thing, when I was watching the game, nobody was slashing. Chris Paul always had the ball in his hand.
Yeah.
Everybody was standing on the line.
Wow.
Yeah, so Chris Paul needs to be more aggressive, in my opinion, and drives to the basket. Get to the free throw line, get some free throws down, get some shots, start passing it off, stay aggressive.
So Houston in how much?
I think Houston 5-6. I don't see Chris Paul beat Chayton. Chris Paul's always been that facilitator. He could score it, but I don't see him. I don't know.
What I would like to see is OKC in 7. Because I think that's the only way they could win. In 7.
It has to be 7, yeah.
It has to be 7.
I can't see it.
I'm saying I want to see that. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it will.
That would just require 3 games of Chris Paul, 3
Yeah.
winning games
Yeah.
of Chris Paul dominating the game, and I don't see Chris Paul dominating the game. I don't see him taking over. Not that he's not capable of. I just don't see Chris Paul saying, "Give me the ball," and driving.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Last, Lakers and Blazers. Lakers lead the series 2-1. Blazers won game 1. What do you think? But Blazers also do have the bubble MVP in Damian Lillard, Mr. Logo himself.
Wait. Is this the guy who?
Game time. Game time. The rapper?
No. I thought you were talking about the guy who started the whole touch everything thing.
Oh no, he plays for Utah Jazz. That's Rudy Gobert.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, Dame Lillard, game time. Portland.
I only know about the Lakers because LeBron and the eyebrow guy.
Oh, Anthony Davis. Yeah. So, this was hard.
Really?
Yeah.
Is Portland really that good? Like, in general, like, or are they just on a hot streak right now?
No, I'm a big Portland guy.
Really?
I'm a big Portland guy. Since Damian Lillard got there, I've loved what Lillard done. The only thing that worries me is if his big men can keep doing what they're doing. Everybody's saying that Dame has to go off, and Dame does. Dave or CJ needs to go off, and they do. But I think it all really comes down to the Portland Trailblazers big man, because the only, in my opinion, right now, the only non-big man that you have to worry about on the Lakers, like really have to worry about, is LeBron James, and he's a big man too.
Yeah.
But besides that, if Dion Waiters gets hot, okay, I'll let Dion. I mean, name a team that wouldn't want to be eliminated by Dion Waiters. You get what I'm saying? Like, if he makes the shots, you're fine with that. Name a team that wouldn't want to be eliminated by J.R. Smith versus LeBron or Anthony Davis. Or, you know what I mean? There's no firepower on that team right now. Some of them chose not to come back due to COVID. Some of them are hurt. They're talking about Rondo possibly returning, which is good. It's going to help the flow on offense, and he's a good defender.
Yeah.
But it's not going to give you points. It's going to help the flow because Rondo makes the right pass. Rondo knows what he's doing.
Rondo's experienced.
Exactly. But Rondo's not scoring the basket like that for you.
Of course.
So the only offensive threat, in my opinion, that's besides the big man, Anthony Davis or JaVale McGee on the putbacks, or Dwight Howard on the rebound and then again putback, is LeBron James. Portland has some bodies they can throw at LeBron James, slow him down a little bit. You know what I mean? It's not going to stop him. I like what Carmelo's been doing to him. Carmelo's been holding his own.
Yeah.
Carmelo's not been known to be a defender, and he's doing pretty well.
Yeah.
But then you look at Portland, who has firepower everywhere. Gary Trent Jr., Carmelo Anthony, CJ, Dame.
I mean, you also got to think Carmelo Anthony is fighting for a spot in the Hall of Fame.
I think he's a Hall of Famer already. But that's a great point. That is a great point. I personally think he's already Hall of Famer.
Because the thing is, there has been an argument, people saying he's not a Hall of Famer.
I think it's because he has no chips, which is unfair. But name a player, he's in the top 15 all-time scoring. Like, how are you in the top 15 all-time scoring and you're not a Hall of Fame player? Like, that doesn't make sense. And I think the people with that view have the idea, since he has no championship, since he hasn't really made a crazy deep playoff run, that he's not a Hall of Famer. But a Hall of Famer is more skill set, what you brought to the game, and there's not many more people that brought more to the table than Carmelo.
Exactly. So, what are you thinking? Portland or LA?
I really can't call this one. I don't know. This is a tough one.
Okay.
Who do you go with?
The fact that you're so confident of how this could go either way is I can literally choose randomly and it won't affect me in any possible way.
I'll flip a coin.
But just thinking about it, it's like that makes the series a lot better. I'm gonna go.
Okay, so
I'm gonna say Portland.
Game one, Portland won.
Yeah.
Good game, Portland won, right?
Yeah.
Game 2, Anthony Davis went off.
Yeah.
Game 3, LeBron went off.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get those.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. If it's just LeBron or a player like Dion Waiters or JR that you're allowing to score, okay. Because I mean, LeBron's gonna get his heart anyway. It's hard to stop him.
Yeah.
But if it's just LeBron and a player like J.R. Smith has to shoot the ball for the win, Dion Waiters, like somebody like along those lines, Danny Green, the way he's been shooting, has to shoot it for the win, I'll take that. But it's when Anthony Davis becomes a factor that it is. And Anthony Davis was a factor in game 2 that worries me.
Yeah.
But if you could play Anthony Davis more physical, because they have the guys, I mean,
they have a big man.
Portland has a big man. Like, the thing is, if Anthony Davis is on, and if Hassan Whiteside's on, Anthony Davis is going to take that, right? If Anthony Davis is on, or Nurkic is on, Anthony Davis. But if Anthony Davis isn't fully firing on all cylinders, he's not putting the ball down, he's not driving, and you're playing him physical with those two guys, that means Lakers only really have LeBron. And in that scenario, I'm taking Portland.
I mean, that's how LeBron failed in his first year.
All his years without getting championship.
Yeah.
When you force LeBron to be the only player who's contributing and dominating the game, LeBron doesn't have the best success by himself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Money players don't.
Yeah. It's not
shade to him.
Yeah.
But many players don't. But when you're forcing LeBron to be the only factor on the floor for that team,
yeah,
I'm not that confident in LeBron. Anthony Davis showed up game 2. If you can neutralize that, like I said, slow him down. Nurkic is a great defender in my opinion. Hassan Whiteside leads the league in blocks 3 games. Game 1 he was going off. I think he blocked LeBron twice if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Portland has the firepower throughout their team to back it up. Like I said, with all the injuries and people choosing not to play, Lakers are a little short-staffed. It doesn't look that good if it's not LeBron and Davis. I can't bet against the Kings, so I'm going to say Game 7, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Fair enough.
Game 7.
Game 7.
I'll flip a coin. You got a coin?
This series is definitely going to Game 7. Flip a coin. Flip a coin.
Yeah, I think, and then the sad part, I guess, for the NBA, because we're talking about, it's all about the money in a sense.
Yeah.
The sad part about the NBA is the fact that the season really can continue And because if there was a way for Portland to be facing, let me look. Anybody else right now, I think, in the West besides Lakers, I would say Portland's going to the second round, especially the way they've been playing the bubble. 6-2, you have the bubble MVP, Dame's playing crazy, Nurkic is playing ridiculous ball, Hassan Whiteside's doing his thing, CJ McCollum with the messed up back is still going off.
Yeah.
I would say they would, even against the Clippers, the way the Clippers are struggling, maybe they wouldn't be struggling as much against Blazers, but Luka's making them look silly. I would take Blazers right now over Clippers. I'll take Blazers over Dallas right now. Blazers over Denver right now. Blazers over Jazz. The only team in the West I couldn't pick the Blazers against the way they play now is Lakers.
All right.
Which makes it a great first round, but also a bad first round because we don't get to see that matchup later on.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's do a quick recap then.
Boston, we have winning. We had winning.
Wait, we have winning. Oh yeah.
Raptors, we have in 4. I mean, I have Raptors in 4. I don't know.
I'm going with you, bud.
Raptors in 4?
Yeah.
We got Dallas and Clippers. I have Dallas, I think, in 7.
I'm saying Clippers in 6.
Clippers in 6. They're leading 2-1 and they were winning last time we checked. But I have Dallas in 7. You have Clippers in 6. Denver. I have Denver in. I have Utah in 5. I'll say Utah in 6.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going with that too.
Bucks Magic. I have Milwaukee winning in 5.
Yeah.
5.
It's a Greek freak.
Rockets and Thunder. I have Rockets in 6.
I'm gonna say Thunder in 7.
I like that.
Yeah.
Lakers and Blazers, I have Game 7. That's all I'm giving you guys.
Game 7.
Game 7. That's all I'm giving you.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this. Just remember, Arm Sports. I'm Ronnie.
Alec.
That's Alec. And stay beautiful.
Stay beautiful.
Cut.
Cut.